Okay, so let's start to configure HDVN Lab. Okay, this time we're gonna use this side of the topology, by the way. Okay, DC firewall, because we already configure many things, so you're gonna be confused. So let's start this side. Basic configuration is already done. Okay, which we done the interfaces configuration and DNS. That's it. So when one is 3.254 and when 2 is 4.254, and our LAN subnet is 10.0.2. Let me show you here. If you go to topology, so 10.0.2, 2.1 and 2.2 are two PC, and we have WAN 1 and WAN 2. WAN 1 is 3.1 this side and 3.254 the other side. 3 dot this one 254 and 4.254. Okay, so 3 and 4, port 1 and port 2. Keep in mind these things. Okay, so this side is 1 this side is 254. Done. These are the basic configuration. And this side of the topology, I mentioned here gateways 3.254, 4.254, port 1 and port 2, and we're gonna use 88 and 1 ping. And SD-WAN zone, we will give them a name, SD-WAN zone. You can give them any name, by the way. Member interfaces are port 1 and port 2. These two, port 1 and port 2. And SD-WAN load balancing method, we're gonna use source and destination IP base. The same load balancing method which we discuss in equal cast multiple path, it apply here as well. We will discuss in detail, but just for your understanding, so a source destination IP base. These are the basic information before starting to configure SD-WAN. So I don't need this firewall anymore. Let me close this one and let me copy the IP which we configure, management IP, and let access this firewall, data center firewall. And let me log into this firewall. By the way, there is nothing configure. We configure only the basic stuff through CLI, if you remember in first class. So if I go to interfaces, so let me show you the interfaces. There is WAN 1 and WAN 2, 3.1, 4.1, and LAN 10.02. That's it, and management. And I believe we configure DNS as well. Yes. And there is no SD-WAN configure, no static route configure, no policy route configure, and no policy and object configure. Means firewall policy. So the basic configuration is done, and we already take the revision as well because we are doing new stuff. So it's before that one we already have the revision done. So let's start to configure graphically SD-WAN. The first thing we need zone, which we discussed theoretically. Zone. First we need to create a zone. It's like a group to put the user inside. The interfaces are like a user. After the SD-WAN zone, by the way, let's go step by step to create. So I already log into data center firewall. I go to the network, and here is SD-WAN. By default, there is one SD-WAN already created for you with the name virtual WAN link. But I don't need this one. I want to create my own. Click on create new, and here is SD-WAN zone. Give them a name. So we decide to give them a name, I believe SD-WAN zone. Let me copy this one. Okay, and let's go back and give them name and click OK. That's it. This is the way to create a zone. And we create how we discuss how many zone we can create. Next, I need to put, it's showing red and down. If I zoom them, so it's red and it's down. The link is down. The reason is there is no member interfaces. So next thing, click create new, and there is member. Member basically the interface is the port, the link. It can be logical and it can be logical. We will do in the VPN. Here we need to put the physical interfaces, and those is the WAN 1. This one. So I say there is a WAN 1, but change the zone. Keep in mind by default it will take the default one to SD-WAN zone, and no need to put the gateway, but if you want, it's better to put them 3.254. It's here 3.254. and done. This is the cost and priority we discuss. And click OK. It's done. So now it's green. And if you click here, so WAN 1 is added. Now I need to create again, create new SD-WAN member, and this time WAN 2, and this side is SD-WAN zone. Now it's showing green. And 192.168.4.254. This side 4.254. And cost and priority keep the same and click OK. And if I click on this plus icon, so now 3.254 and 4.254 has been added. So I created SD-WAN zone, which is basically you can say a logical interface, and under that we add these two. In my case is 2, it can be more. So first we create zone, then we put the interfaces. Interfaces are called the member we discuss. Now I need a static route for these. So under that one there is a static route. Now it's up to you. You can create a separate static route for WAN 1 like we created the default one, and for WAN 2. Either the best way is to make them more simple, just call SD-WAN zone and click OK. The one which we created. If you do like this one, it will call both automatically. Get router info, routing table static. You see, it's do the same thing which we done individually. Rather than to do individually, you can call SD-WAN and it will do it for you automatically. Both route has been installed automatically. This point is clear, yeah? Yes, one thing more. You cannot use the same destination for any other thing. Suppose if you try now WAN 1 and you click OK, it will give you an error. It says a duplicate. Because for the same destination SD-WAN is there. Yeah, if you try something else, it's okay. It will accept this one. But for the same destination, no. So let me delete this one. I don't need. This is the only thing you need to remember. If SD-WAN is available for the same destination, you cannot put any other route. Simple as that. This is the only thing you need to remember. 3 things. So we create zone, we put the member, then we create a static route for SD-WAN zone. Now you can change the SD-WAN load balancing method which we decide. Now this is a question. Let's see. So we create a zone and now we put the members. After the member is available, then we create a static route and we call them SD-WAN zone. Yeah. Now the algorithm. So if I go here and try to configure a system SD-WAN, and now I need to change the load balancing method. Set load balancing mode. We will discuss this in detail. There is source IP base, weight base, usage base, and measure volume base. It look like these things are we discussed somewhere, isn't it? If you remember an equal cost multiple path, we done almost identical things there. What about those one? Let's make out from here. Sorry, end. So when we configure load balancing method for equal cost multiple paths, so I go to config system setting and there I type set v4. Oh, v4 is not available. It means when you enable SD-WAN, so the equal cost multiple path command has been replaced with load balancing mode and is go under the config system SD-WAN, and equal cost is not available anymore. That's the only thing you remember. You know, I cannot type. I say v4 question mark. I say no, there is nothing with v4. And just before this, we done this lab. If I go to another firewall, this command will be available because in that firewall SD-WAN is not configured. As soon you enable SD-WAN, so that ECMP will be removed and it will shift to the load balancing mode. Anyway, you get the idea. Let me come out from here and let me go to config system SD-WAN, and as we decide, let me change the set load balancing mode to source and destination IP base and end. Forget about if you can't understand what is source and destination, even though we discuss an equal cast, but we decide to change this mode. So this one is already done. We change the mode. After the mode, what we need to do? Firewall policy. Let's go to firewall policy, and firewall policy, and I need to create a policy for SD-WAN. So create new and type here LAN to internet. Give them any name. The traffic will come internet. Okay, the traffic will come from LAN, this one, port 3, and it will go to, you see my WAN 1 and WAN 2 is not available anymore. In the routing it was available, but in the policy no way to call them separately. You need to call them SD-WAN. Yeah, there is a, you know what is called, there is a way to call them, but I don't want to discuss here because I just want to show you how to configure quickly SD-WAN. In case if you need, maybe you are thinking that no, I need this member separately. Maybe I want to divert traffic to WAN 1, but it's not showing in the policy. Leave it that one. But anyway, you cannot call them. Right now, just understand, cannot call them. I need to call SD-WAN. So automatically both will be called. Done. And source I don't care because you already know this one. All, and destination going to all. Services I want to go all. And net is enable and all session enable and okay. So the policy is done for SD-WAN. And now that's it. It was so easy to create. The simple way. We are not yet inside of SD-WAN. So my SD-WAN is ready to use them. What I done, it was so easy. I go to SD-WAN, I create a zone, then I call the member, I put them in that zone, and then I create a static route for SD-WAN, then I create a policy for SD-WAN, net is already there, everything is ready, and now I need to fire some traffic from inside PC. So let me close these two PC. This was related to this side, and now the data center I configure. So let me go to this PC, and from here I go to terminal, and can I go to outside? So yes, I can go outside, trace route, and if I say 8888, so here you can see it's using 3 is this one, WAN 1 link. And if I go to 11, and it's going to again 3. If let me change the destination to yahoo.com, and it's 3 again, and it's look like it is by source. It doesn't change. I will tell you. So again, all the time it's using WAN 1 link. 3.254 is WAN 1 by the way, and 4 is WAN 2. The reason is, if I go to SD-WAN, so there is a default rule they are using that one. So let's see, maybe it's source. It's source and destination by the way. You can change them. These are the things which we discuss in equal cast multiple as well. Almost same things like a source IP base, session base, spillover base, source and destination, and volume, which we will discuss here. Let me cancel them. But anyway, the traffic is going. How I can verify? So if I go to SD-WAN zone and click here, so you can see it's using WAN 1 link most of the time, and then WAN 2. This is the download and this is the upload to WAN 1. And also from here through bandwidth, so you can see most of the time it's used WAN 1. This is the color of WAN 1, and little bit is used 9 bit something, almost bit per second is used WAN 2. And also you can see the upload as well. 63 bit per second. So 63 bit per second has been used for WAN 2. So this color, and this most of the time they use WAN 1. So we can verify by bandwidth, and we can verify by volume, and we can verify by session as well. Okay, so you can verify. Let's go back what we done. So we change the load balancing method, then we create a policy for SD-WAN, and then we test them, and Facebook and Twitter. Okay, and we ping them, and we can capture the packet. But anyway, it's using most of the time this one. It hasn't to be, by the way. We need to clear the cache, and we need to check again. So if I go back, not this firewall, by the way, now our firewall is changed. So let me go to data center firewall. Okay, and let me log in admin 123. Okay, diagnosis session clear. Okay. And now what I can do, let's go back to PC and verify again. So twitter.13, and let's see yahoo.com. It doesn't use anything. It means the session is clear. So this time it gonna take some time to 3. Let's use 3 again. Let's use another S3, facebook.com. Again, for some reason, let me clear the session, and let's try again. By the way, it hasn't to be S3, and if I go to Yahoo, because session is clear, you see it's taking some time. And let's see what. Okay, let me go back and see what maybe something is. If I go to static route is okay, and this one is okay, and let me go to policy. By the way, it has to be SD-WAN rule. You can see we change through the command. You can change from here as well. This is the implicit rule we will discuss. So I change them to source and destination IP base. So I say whenever I'm changing the destination, change the link as well. But for some reason it's not changing the link. Even though we don't have performance SLA, there are many things considered, but just the basic configuration I was to show you. And we can capture the packet as well. This is the command to capture, but anyway it's taking one link to see. Okay, so if I try to ping 8888, okay, first I need to type, later on type this command. First send the traffic and then type this command. Okay, so it's using a 3.1. Okay, let me clear the session. So it's using let me bring this command again and see. Let's try to ping a new website such as twitter.com and see. Okay, and let's capture the packet. Again, for some reason it's using 3.1 all the time, even though I change the destination. Let me change another destination, ping msn.com. okay, which is a different destination. Let them start. You see there is some small issue. I told you that's why. Maybe that link is not working. This one, maybe entirely this, there is sometime you will face this issue. Let's verify. So if I go to data center firewall, and if I say a ping, and execute ping option, and let me try the source is, which link is not working. Let me verify that one. 4. So 192.168.4.1, and let's try to ping 192.168.1.1. 1. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, there is some slowness, you can see. I say that try to ping from this source. You can use option, okay, ping option, and you see it's the dropping, the packet is dropping. The issue is in this link, so that's why it's not giving the proper result. You see, I say ping from 4.1 to 1.1 and this drop. There is some wrong. If I change this to 3.1, it will ping. Now let's see, execute ping. You can see. So what was, that's why I told you take a backup all the time. Now the issue is with this link. So what I can do, let me delete this link. This is what I found out. This is the first way to do it. And let me connect again. Okay, so 4 to 2. And then let me edit style so that I can make them the same. It was like this, and the color I give them blue. Okay, and I type here WAN 2, and that's it, and it's ready. And now let's try again. So this time I say execute ping option, keep the source my 4.1, and I want to ping 1.1, and this time it's working. It start working. And now if I try this one, let's clear the session now. This the session to clear, and now I can capture. Where was the capture? The capture command was this one, and also I can verify through trace route now. So trace route, and if I go to 8.8.8-D, so it used 3, yeah, and now change this one to twitter.com-D, and now you can see it's working 4.1. You may face this issue in your lab as well, and my lab. That's why very important, every time take a backup. So what I will do, I will go back and I will take another revision as well. Go to revision, and previously the basic was, yeah, and now save changes, and what we done, basic SD-WAN, because this was just the basic SD-WAN config, and take a backup. So up to this point, so whenever I face issue with the SD-WAN, so I can click this one and go revert to the previous one, and I will start again rather than from the scratch. You get the idea? So this backup is very important, and I will take another backup as well. If everything is working, take another backup of this one. And this time the backup is when we configure basic, what is called a basic SD-WAN. So I can go to DC firewall and basic SD-WAN on this date 31/12 and 2022. So now if I have this backup, so the issue which I face, and you will see this issue, there are many, and this backup will save us. So keep in mind all the time, do the same thing you do as well. And now it's giving us the same result. So sorry, first send the traffic and then capture. So let me show you from there as well. So if I go to yahoo.com, okay, and if I capture, so let's see on which WAN they are going. They are using 3.1, yeah, it's okay, 3.1. Keep in mind 3.1. Now let's change the destination, and let's go to this time msn.com. Okay, so I change the destination. If everything is working, I think so the link again stop working. Let's see. You see, if it is taking time like this, so it means something is wrong with the link, one link. So then they switch over to another link. Let me go to another one, facebook.com, and let's capture. Again it's using 3.1. so let's see another one, ping I forgot the website, so google.com, and let's capture now. Okay, again it's using 3, so something is wrong with that link again, but anyway, at least you get the idea that it will. But let's go back to verify from here as well. So if I go to SD-WAN, so this time you can see more traffic, almost. Yeah, you can see upload is almost, but download there is a difference. Anyway, it's used most of this link, okay, WAN 1 and port 2. And also you can go to logs and you can see forward traffic and clear this one. And from here you can also see the traffic WAN 1 and also WAN 2. Both the link are used, utilized. Yeah, you can see WAN 1 and WAN 2. And also you can go to network and dashboard, and you can go to 40 view session. From 40 view session you can also verify, and you can see WAN 1. Here is WAN 1. The other logs has been clear, that's why. So this is the recent one, because session will quickly I clear the session as well, so that's why. And also you can go to network, okay, and if you go to SD-WAN, so it will show you here as well. You can see WAN 1 has been 7 session and WAN 2 has 2 session, and upload and download. So you can verify from here. Later on it will show you these detail as well. Okay, so you can verify from here, and also from the routing table. So these are the routing table which we configure for both SD-WAN. It will show you both. Let's go back. So we visit many different destination, and we saw that one. Forwarding traffic I show you. SD-WAN, so you can verify from there as well. So this was the basic SD-WAN configuration, and this one we done on this side of the topology. But keep in mind, SD-WAN we configure. If I go back, we haven't touched anything. It is just the configuration. We create a zone with the name SD-WAN. We put 2 member from here, okay, but we never discuss the SD-WAN rules. The default one is implicit. We never touch the performance SLA. There are some default as well, and how to create that and how it is work, and what is this SD-WAN different load balancing method, source IP, session, spillover, source destination, volume, and why this default one is there, and can I delete? No, I cannot delete them. And can we create our own rules? Yes, we can create our own rules by source destination. And there is a different strategy we never discuss: manual, best quality, lowest cost, maximum bandwidth. One by one we will discuss this theoretically, then we will do one by one lab of all these. We never discuss interface preferences, zone, measurement, SLAs. SLAs is in the other, this one. These are the SLAs. What is SLA? We discuss theoretically what is SLA, but we never use them. These are the default one, and we can create our own. Inside SLA we have active, passive, and prefer passive. What the hell is these? Protocol. And can we use only these 3 protocol? No, there are some more as well. And the server, and also participant, and SLA target. What is jitter? We discussed theoretically, but we never done practically. So latency, jitter, and packet loss, and link status. So one by one we will do lab to see all these. So this is our next target. We configure only this. We're gonna start from SD-WAN SLA active. We will see passive, then we will see prefer passive, then we will see different protocol. Yeah, I will give an example only 4: ping, HTTP, DNS, and TCP. However, I will show you the other. And then we're gonna see latency and jitter and packet loss, and what the hell is update static route, and what is the failure before inactive. In the routing table it was inactive, and restore the link. So we will see all these things, and then we will move to SD-WAN rule to discuss all these. These are simple, but we more focus on these 4 things. That which strategy is best for me, which one to use: manual, best quality, lowest cost, and maximize bandwidth. So we're gonna see these one by one, theoretically and practically. So this was the simple lab which we configure for SD-WAN. Okay.